Hello, welcome to Cracking the Cryptic, and I'm going to give myself a challenge today. This puzzle is some sort of yin-yang, not quite lying digit, but hidden digit puzzle. Oh, I'll go through the rules in a moment. I mean, it's going to be, I think this is going to be a journey. Check the video length. Maybe it's a quick 15-minute video. I doubt it. And it is a debut, so excellent. Anyway, we will look at that in a second. Don't forget that on Patreon, every month we bring out new content on the 1st of the month, and you get till the 20th to enter our competition to win a prize as a result. And also we've got some wonderful apps available on all sorts of platforms, Google Play, the App Store, and Steam host all of our apps, and they are 100 puzzles each, except in the gas where they're 60 a go, and priced accordingly. Do check them out. They're great puzzles. We've also, of course, got Sven's SUDOKU PAD and our merch on the links under the video, but the first one is to this puzzle by J. Rosas. Rosas is a word that was in my mind yesterday. I was doing an American crossword. Now, in British crosswords, we get a fair amount of French vocabulary mentioned in the clues. And that, I guess, is for historical reasons and the proximity of the UK to France. Very similarly, America abuts Mexico. And therefore, there's a lot of Spanish vocabulary. And I was answering a clue that was about what you might find in a jardín with an accent on the I or something. So it was a Spanish garden, and the answer was clearly the Spanish for flowers, which I assumed was floras, because I know this word rosas, which is part of this pseudonym, J. Rosas, and that's the plural of roses. So I assumed a flower was a flora and plural was floras. Apparently it's flores. Maybe I've not understood a gender issue or something. I don't know. I just didn't know. So there we go. That is so uninteresting to you, but it was just on my mind. Now, this puzzle is called One of These Things. And that is from the phrase, one of these things is not like the others. So here come the rules, and get ready. Normal Sudoku rules apply. 1 to 9 in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. That's fine. All cells in the grid can be divided into 2 orthogonally connected regions with no 2x2 square entirely in either region. Now those rules are called yin-yang rules. Each cage contains one cell that is not like the others, i.e., that is, one digit in each cage is in a different region than are all the others in that cage. The sum clue in a cage, so in this one I've got highlighted the sum is given as 30, is the sum of the others in that cage. For example, if the sum cage is 3, there it is, and there are 3 cells in the cage, that's the one I've got highlighted, there is an unknown digit that is in the opposite region from the other 2, which are a 1 and a 2. Digits don't repeat within cages. A black dot joins digits that are in a 1 to 2 ratio, and a white dot joins consecutive digits. Okay, I mean, those rules are understandable. They seem to me incredibly difficult because you don't know which region in each cage has the majority of the digits and which one has the odd one out. So I have a feeling this is going to be very difficult, and I'm going to give it a go, and I'm going to start now. Let's get cracking. So, I mean, you could start with that 3 cage. Okay, the 3 cage has got a 1 and a 2 in it. I mean, that was pretty clear from the rules, actually, in the example. And another digit, and the other digit is a different colour. So all we can really tell is that that's got a 1 and a 2 in it. The 4 cage has a 1 and a 3. Oh, the 6 cage, right, this can't be a 1 because the 1 in the box is going to be in that cage. The 6 cage, okay, I've got a start here. The 6 cage, the 2 digits that add up to 6, and I know it must be 2, have to be 2 and a 4 because they don't include a 1. And now this cell can't be a 2 in box 5 either. And now we know where the 1 and 2 are and where the odd one out is. How the heck do I mark? Because I can't start colouring, because if I found out where another odd one out is... Okay, let's pen tool. I don't really know what to do. I'm going to put a circle around the digits that count get a circle, and digits that don't count get an X. And that might help, or it might not. Oh, there's another 4 cage. The trouble is, this is in 3 separate boxes. And that gets a 1, 3 in it. This 5 cage, don't know. 9 cage, don't know. Oh, 5 cage here. That's getting quite... I'll tell you why I'm quite interested in that, is because a certain number of 1s and 3s have to get used up here. Okay, the 5 cage has to contain a counting digit that is odd. It's either, the counting cells are either 1, 4 or 2, 3. So it contains either a 1 or a 3. Now that is going to use one of the 1s and 3s in these 2 columns, which obviously have 4 1s and 3 cells in them. One of them is in that cage we've just discovered. 2 of them are definitely in this cage. So one of them can be in this cage, but no more than 1. And this cell must be 1 or 3 and must be a counting cell. And the other, okay, oh, sorry. Oh, I'm losing track of what I'm doing. Right, sorry, those marks were just accidents. Now, I think there's going to be a 1 or 3 here. Let me just follow this train of thought through. Yeah, going back to these 2 columns, which we highlighted as having one lot of 1, 3 there, another one here, and 2 there. In all these remaining cells, they cannot have a 1 or a 3 because the 4 1s, 3s are used up. This 5 cage needs a counting 1 or 3 and it needs it to be there. This 5 cage needs a counting 1 or 3 and we need it to be there because a 5 cage in 2 cells, oh, this one does as well. Now the trouble with that is it's in one of these 2 cells. I don't know how to pencil mark that there is a 1 or a 3 in one of these 2 cells. I don't really have the pencil marking capability available for that. And I'd love to put that this is a 2 or a 4, but I don't know if it's counting because the 2 counting cells could be there. Now I haven't done anything with the yin-yang pattern, but I think this is all I can do is struggle around looking for digits at the moment. Oh, I was tempted to say they can't contain 1 or 3, but that's not true because probably only one of these does. Anyway, okay, what about, I'm now going to focus on these 3 columns. Yeah. Yeah, I'll tell you what is already interesting. And I'm going to move on to 2s and 4s next and see if it's interesting for those. This black dot can't contain a 1 or a 3 because this cell is, oh no, I could be wrong here. I don't know. Okay, I'm really getting myself a bit confused here. This has 1, 1 or 3. This has 1, that's 2 of them. This pair has 1, that's 3 of them. This thing has 2, so that's 5. And this one must have 1, and that's 6 1s and 3s in 3 columns. And that means neither of these cells, nor even that one, can contain 1 or 3. So this is not a 3, 6 black dot. It's either 2, 4 or 4, and it's not 1, 2. It's either 2, 4 or 4, 8. And it includes a 4. And that's really, I mean, I hadn't even thought about that when I was thinking about 2s and 4s. So this cage contains a 2 or a 4. That's 1. This one contains 1. That's 2. This one contains 1. That's 3. This pair of cells contains 1. That's 4. Oh, that is a shame. I thought I was going to reach the maximum 6 for these columns, but neither of these 4 cages needs to contain a 2 or a 4. If they did, it wouldn't be a counting one. And I can't therefore rule out both. Well, I can't say that there's only one of 2 and 4 in that cage. Hang on though, the count, I don't know if they're counting digits. Oh, yin-yang. Yin-yang, well, the rule that's specified is that there is no 2 by 2 square entirely in either region. Right, so in a 6-cell cage, there are 5 counting cells. And the one that isn't counting, well, it can't be there or there, because then these 4 would be counting cells and they'd all be in one region. So these 2 are counting digits, I reckon. And that applies in any of these shapes in most of these corners. Now the other cells in the region, I don't think this cell can be the odd digit out, because these would all be in the same region and this cell would get cut off. So this cell also gets a circle. Same for this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. So look, both of those black dot cells are counting cells. Okay, well, that's interesting. I think it leads us to our 5th 2 or 4 in these 3 columns, which was where I was having the interest. But now I'm quite interested. This can't be the non-counting cell in the corner either, because then those 5 would be in the same region. So that is a counting cell in the corner. Well, this has been available from the start. I wasn't focusing on this aspect of the rules. And now we've found the non-counting cell in each of those cages, the odd one out. Now, the trouble with that is these don't all have to be the same colour, these O's. They just have to be one colour within the cage. Now, where I started thinking about this from was this 29 total, but actually I'm going to note that the 16 total in this cage, which counts those 5 digits, they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. The other digits in the cage are 5, 7, 8, in the box are 5, 7, 8, and 9. The 2 on the white dot don't include 5. The cage must include 5 and 8 to add up to 13 and a non-counting digit. And therefore this cell doesn't include 8. This is now 7 or 9. And on the white dot logic, we get a digit. I've got an 8 in the puzzle. 8 is a counting digit. There's no 8 in these cells. There's a counting 5 and a non-counting 7 or 9. I see. Oh, the perimeter, right. Yin-yang, the perimeter. You may know this if you've watched 1 or 2 yin-yang puzzles before. But there are 2 very interesting rules about yin-yang. Oh, I'm going to use another one of them in a moment. Oh, no, I'm not. Okay. Anyway, there are 2 very interesting rules. Not rules, but consequences of the yin-yang rules. One is that the perimeter divides into maximally 2 runs of colour. And that is because if you divided it into more, so you had purple, green, say, then the 2 green sections, let's say they were there and there, I don't know what I did, if they have to join together. And any joining together they achieve will block off the 2 purple regions which represent the rest of the perimeter from joining together because you can't pass through the same cell to join. And therefore you can't divide the perimeter into more than 2 regions. Oh, look, yeah, okay, sorry. This is all coming together now. Now, the other rule I was going to mention was you can't have a checkerboard, by which I mean, I will just show you an example of a checkerboard, purple there and green there in the puzzle anywhere. And that is because to join the greens together, if they existed like that, you would have to kind of form some sort of ring around this purple, which could never get out to join to the other purple. So even if you went the other way around, obviously it would apply exactly the same around this purple. So there is no checkerboarding. And if we get further in this puzzle, that may be helpful. Now, I thought I was going to apply that here and go, well, we've got 1x and 1o here, so we mustn't have a checkerboard. That doesn't work because the x's in one cage can be a different color from the x in the other. So my O and X symbiotics at the semiotics at the moment, sorry, they are constricted to within a cage. Now, what I have now noticed is that this 9 cage, this has 2 of one color and 1 of the other, and it's all on the perimeter. So it is one of the barriers on the perimeter where there is a change of color. Oh, and there's a 12 cage up here that innocently, this 3x1 cage is doing the same job. Again, there's 2 of one color and 1 of another in it. So that is a barrier between the 2 colors in the puzzle. So I can color all of these cells one color and all of these cells the other color. I hope purple and green is okay for everybody. It provides a decent contrast. Let's do purple and yellow. That's even more. Okay. Now, I don't know what that is. It could be purple or it could be yellow. It's going to kind of depend on where the 9 cage needs to get its 2 counting digits. The same for that. But, I can make this yellow. It's the odd one out in that cage. This is purple. This is purple. And I could have done those anyway to avoid 2x2s. And there is a start on the colouring. Now, the trouble is, as I said, I can't really relate that to this cage because this could have 2 purples in it and a yellow, and then all I would have to do is avoid the yellow being there. Or it could have 2 yellows and a purple, and they could be disposed in any way at all. So that colouring doesn't really feed into that. I'm trying to find somewhere where it does help, and I'm failing a bit. Now, what I was planning to look at about 7 minutes ago was if those added up to 6, these have to add up to the rest of 29. They would be 23. So if that was a 2-4 pair, this is 9, 8, 6, and that doesn't work. I tell you why a 2-4 pair doesn't work, because this cage needs a 2 or 4 in it. There we go, it's that simple. Sorry if you've been shouting that at me. So that is a 4-8 pair. Right, these now add up to 17. They've either got 2 even, they haven't got 2 even digits. This cage needs an even low number, and that is going to be a 2 in one of those cells. So these can't have a 6 in, because then they'd have a 6 and 2 odd numbers and not add up to 17. And they must be 3 odd numbers which don't include 1 and 3, and they add up to 17. Now, how do those totals work? 953 seems to work, and 971. So there's definitely a 9 in those, and the others are odd. And 9, 3 and 1 must be used up in these cells. So these can only contain 2, 5, 6 and 7. as digits. The 5 cage, which has a 2 in it, obviously has a 3 in it as its counting digit. So that's a 3. So these are not 953, these are 917 as a triple. There's no 7 in those cells, there's no 2 in that one. One of those is a counting 2. Now I'd love to say that this cage doesn't have a 3 in it now, but I'm not sure I have the right. It does have a 2 or a 4 in it. And this cage has a 2 and a 4 in it. So the other 2 and 4 in columns 7, 8, 9 are in those cells. These are selected from 3, 5, 6, 8. Oh, I want to say that there has to be a 3 there. Can I say that? No, not yet. Because that would rule 3 out of this cage completely. In fact, it's quite interesting. If this was a 3, it makes that a 3 and that a 3. But it's all based on an if, and it doesn't quite fall apart there. Oh, it's close. It's close. I don't know if it's worth pursuing because it seemed to sort of run out of steam. That string of deduction. The counting digits in this 30 cage are 9, 8, 7, 6. But that could still just be one of them. 8 or 6. This is not the non-counting digit in the 30 cage, because all of these would be counting. They'd all be the same color, they'd all be purple, we'd have a lot of 2 by 2s. So that is a counting digit. I think this is a counting digit, otherwise you'd have another 2 by 2 of purple. Let me just show you where that would be. If this was an X, all of these would be all O's and all the same color, and that would make this a 2 by 2 of purple. So this one is an O, and I think the same goes for this one. These are all counting digits. The non-counting digit is one of these two. So these are selected from 6, 7, 8, and 9, because those are the counting digits in the 15 cage. Oh, the 4, 8 pair up here says 4 in the box is not there, it's in one of these 2 cells. So these 2 cells include a counting 6, 7. This can't be the X because it would be encircled by O's and it would be cut off. So that is the O. It's straightforward in a way, but it's very hard to see for me. That is the non-counting digit. So this is 6, 7, 8, or 9. This one is a low digit. It's not a 1 because we've got a 1, 7, 9 triple. So it's 2, 3, 4, or 5. Everything in these can't be 2 or 4, which are confined to those cells. So these are from 1, 3, 5. I don't know whether that's counting, but now I can colour, can't I, in this cage? Sorry, I'd forgotten. This is purple and is the non-counting digit. So these others are all counting digits. They're all the same colour. That's not purple. They're yellow. This is purple to avoid a 2 by 2. This is purple to avoid a 2 by 2. I could probably take out all of the X's and the O's in the cages I've finished colouring. I don't see why not. They're not really doing any good anymore, are they? They've helped get to this point, but they've done their job. Off you go, X's and O's. Now I'm going to leave that 8 coloured. Yeah, I'm going to leave all of these other markings because they matter. Now, this cage has got 2 yellows in it already, so the other digit is the odd one out, is the purple. Therefore, the bottom 2 are the counting digits, and that one is 2 or 4. They have to add up to 5. I'm actually going to remove, whenever I can, I'm going to try and remove X's and O's. Now, that is interesting. That is interesting because I was counting 2s and 4s earlier in this trio of columns. And there are 6 of them, obviously, a 2 and a 4 in each column. So 1 is there. 1 is going to be here. There's a 2 in those cells, we're up to 3. There's a 4 in those cells, we're up to 4. This 5 cage is going to have a counting 2 or a 4. And we're up to 5. And that's really surprised me because I thought we were going to get up to 6 this time. No, I think what I'd forgotten is I knew there was a 2 or a 4 in that area. So Yabu sucks to me. Oh, this white dot's interesting. Look at that, 1, 3. This needs to be a 2 or a 4. But that's not in the 3 columns I was looking at. However, this 2 or 4 must appear in this cage and it can only appear here. So that's a definite 2 or 4. Ah, is this a counting digit? I mean, it's odd to get so much colouring done here in a yin-yang and then not just be able to use it somehow. Maybe I can. I can't see how is my problem there. These can't both be yellow, or they... Oh, well, I got very far with the colouring here. Let's think about the colouring here. I think it might be the exact opposite of over here. So. Now, I started by saying this couldn't be the odd one out, this cell, because then all of these would be yellow and would create multiple 2 by 2s. If that was the odd one out, we'd have a double 2 by 2, and that can't be the odd one out, and this can't be the odd one out. Row 5, column 1, because then X would get surrounded in. So those are the O's, this is the X, and we can colour accordingly. These are now purple. These are yellow to avoid 2 by 2s. I'm now going to get rid of those X's and O's that just... I mean, I was really just proving it was exactly the same situation as in box 6, but it's worth it for me. Now, how do we add these up to 15? We can't use 1 and 2. And there were only a limited number of 15 sums anyway, and some of them had 1 and 2 in. So now I think we're at 1, 3, 4, 7, 1, 3, 5, 6, and 2, 3, 4, 5. We're not using 8 or 9, but even this cell could be a 9 if it was a non-counting digit in this 9 cage. Oh, how does that not get me any further? That's annoying. It's another blooming 5 cage with a 1 or a 3 and a 2 or a 4 in it. And these cells add up to 30. So the 2 counting cells here take the total to 35. The 2 non-counting cells, which are both in this 2 by 2 region in this box, add up to 10, which is an annoying total. Oh, there's definitely a 5 in one of those cells, so this isn't a 5. That's not a 3. Oh, there could be quite a bit of Sudoku to tidy up. Oh, this 9 cage. Well, the trouble is I don't know what counts. It could be those 2 yellows counting, or those 2 purples. If it's those 2 purples, it's a 3-6 pair for sure. If it's those 2 yellows, it's not so obvious. I think all the possibilities are available, so all the possibilities that make up 9 is what I'm talking about. Okay, let's go back here. No, let's look at the 21 cage. This has got 3 counting digits in it. Should I know about the formation? About the disposition of colouring? Oh, this is yellow and it's got an O, so that's yellow with the O in the same cage, and that's purple. And this must be yellow because this yellow has to get out and to avoid a checkerboard. I can get rid of those X's and O's. They are pointless to me now. Excellent. This is yellow, but is it the counting 5 making that yellow and that purple? Or is this the counting 5? In which case they would both be purple, the 5 and 8. What? So if this is the counting 5, it's the same colour as 8, and that's yellow and that's purple. So if this is the counting 5, we've got yellow 8, purple over here. If the counting 5 is here, 5 and 8 are both purple. So this cell is always purple, but I don't know whether it is the counting 5 or not. That's going to depend on what colour the 8 becomes. Oh, weird. Now, I can't have a checkerboard here, so that's purple. And that is a 2 or a 4 and is a counting digit. Oh, and all that tells me is that one of these is 1 and one is the other. Oh, come on, puzzle. Give me a bit more. That's a domino of purple and yellow. That's what I learned from that. I'm sure I don't really want to just mark that of flashing the cells because I'll just forget what it means at some point. If this takes a while, I think it will. Okay, let's just keep going. I need to make other deductions that aren't the things I've looked at so far. I wanted to look at this 21 cage. Oh, the 12 cage, right. The pair that adds up to 12 in that is either 5, 7 or 9, 3. If it was 9, 3, that's 1, 2, 6, that's 7, and then 5 is in this cage, which it is anyway by looking at the row. If the 5, 7 count, then the row has quite a few options for how it works. However, 5 is now not a counting digit in the 21 cage. So the 21 counters could be made up of 4, 8, 9 or 6, 7, 8. And that's all. So there is an 8 in this cage, and it does count, and 8 by Sudoku has to be here. And that is a counting digit and warrants a circle. So 2 of these are counters and 1 isn't. And they either include 4, 9 or 7, 6. And that is going to use up the 9s and 7s in this row, and that becomes a 1. Okay, let's think again. They're either 4, 9 or 6, 7. And then there's another digit which doesn't count. It's so hard having these digits that don't count. Ooh, there's a 5, 7, 9 triple. 8, 3. So this is from 1, 2, 4 or 6. Four, 9 or 6, 7. Right, if it was 6, 7 that counted here, this would have a 9, 3 counting. And there'd be a 1, 2 or a 4 non-counting in this group. Yeah, I don't know how to use that. That 3 is counting. If that is yellow, the 2 that counts could be in either place here. If it's purple, that has to be yellow to get out. If it's purple, that is also purple. And that would go some way to unwinding a few things, I think. Oh, there's a 2-4 pair in this column, a virtual one between those cells. There's definite 1-3 pair, and that's an 8. Everything else in the column is 5, 6, 7, or 9. That is just Sudoku telling me that. It's not helpful, is it? Oh, this 16 cage. I mean, how long can you go without even looking at it? Its counting cells are 9 and 7. I mean, that's been one of the most obvious things since the start. This cell I'm in is a non-counter. These two are counters. They are a 9-7 pair. They can't both, they're the same colour and they can't both be yellow or we'd have a 2 by 2. They're purple, that's yellow. This is all blindingly obvious. Well, it is once you actually see that it's happening. Until then, not so much. I bet that's a 5. I don't know. I don't know how these 1-3s work. I've got a feeling I should know by now. But I don't. Right, colours, colours, colours. So, this 5 cage, this also has a 1 or a 3 and a 2 or a 4. There's probably just bleeding obvious things going on everywhere, aren't there? So let's look at something very unobvious. What is the even digit on this white dot? No. Well, I don't think I can tell. There's a 2 there and either a 4 or an 8 here. I don't think I've got the wherewithal to tell what's going on. Now I've got interested in the fact that these two add up to 5. I could colour my 1s and 3s. Could I? Yeah, where is this digit in box 2? It's in one of those cells. So it is that digit. Yeah, that's very interesting. Right. This digit and that digit add up to 5. This digit, which must be in one of those cells, is in one of those, in box 5. This 1 or 3, which, oh no, it's a bit simpler. These two add up to 5. This is the other of 1 or 3, and this is the other of 2 or 4. This is the other of 1 or 3 according to the column. This is the other of 2 or 4 according to the box. And the other two digits from 1, 2, 3, 4 also add up to 5. So these are consecutive and add up to 5, and we disambiguate what they are. Wow. I mean, that's a pattern one might have seen somewhere in another puzzle before, and I don't think I ever have. Isn't that strange? So anyway, 4 is in one of those two cells by Sudoku. This is now a 2. That's going to sort out 1 there, 2 there. This is not a 1. This is not a 3. I mean, there's probably a lot of Sudoku ramifying out from what we've just done. There's a 4 in one of those cells and not a 2. There's a 1 in one of those cells and not a 3. So this is not a 1. This is not a 2. In fact, 2 and 2, we can place 2 in the final column there. I don't know if that's a counting digit. Could these be the yellow counting digits, 3 and then 1? Yes, I think they could. This, yeah, I don't even know whether to look for colours or numbers or what now. I've got an X-wing on 4s between those positions. I know there's a 4 in one of those, so there's a 4 in one of those two. The possible fills for the 15 cage, do they always include 4? I doubt it. I think they're 1, 3, 4, 7, 1, 3, 5, 6, which doesn't include 4, and oh, that's all now since this just became a 2. This is unknown. The 4 here is purple. And the other digit in this cage is yellow. And that's obvious. That's not a 1 anymore. So there's a 2, 4, 6 triple going on. Oh, why isn't this getting easier? That is 3, 4, or 5. I was so pleased with this 2-3 disambiguation. I think it did get me a bigger clutch of digits than anything else I've achieved actually has, but never mind. So the pair that add up to 5 here, if they were 3, 2, that would be 3, and that would be 2, and they would both be purple. And that works okay. If they were 1, 4, it's not so obvious. In fact, where is 4 in this box? That's quite interesting because it can't be there by Sudoku, and given those, it's not there. So 4 in the box is almost forced into the 5 cage, but it could just be here. One of these is a 1 in this cage, so that's not a 1. This is now 3 or 5. If it's a counting digit, it's 3 with 2 there. We'd also have 2 here. If it's a non-counting digit, then these 2 count. And that will be 1, and that would be 4. Oh, that's interesting. So if this is a counting digit, it's 3, and that's 2. If this is a non-counting digit, doesn't matter what it is. This has to be a 2-3 pair because of that 4 I've just seen. In fact, the simple way of looking at this is we need an even low digit, and it can't be 4. So it is 2, and it is there. And this is a 6, and that's a 2. And now we've got the counting digits here and the non-counting one. I think the counting digits probably have to be, they can't be purple because that yellow would get shut off. So the counting digits are yellow in that box. That one is purple. I can get rid of the depictions of X's and O's. Okay, this is a counting digit in the 5 cage. And this can't be a 3, so that's the 3. The 2 counting digits are purple, that one's yellow. Okay, come on, keep going. This can't be purple because we'd get a checkerboard, so it's yellow. But I don't know whether it's yellow and goes with a yellow 3 here, or whether it's not a 1 and these... Okay, these are either both purple or those 2 are yellow and that's purple. So this one's always purple. Oh, come on. Okay, they don't have a 3 in. That's good. So now these don't have a 5 in. They're 3, 6, 8. Just by Sudoku, I can limit these a bit. What about, first of all, the 9 cage? Well, if the counting digits are 3 and 6, they're both in this column and they're both purple. And one of these digits in this column must be counting. It can't be the 8 anymore because we don't have a 1 as an option here. So that is a 3-6 counting purple pair. Get to colour it. This can be any digit it likes. Okay, fair enough. That's the sacrifice I make. They have a 5 in. That's become a 1. That is a counting digit. We need a counting 3 in this box. It's there. We need a counting 1 in that one. Counting, that makes 3 counting there. These are both counting in the 1, 3, and that's yellow. And doesn't need any pencil marks. I can get rid of this O. Oh, okay. Now, in this 5 cage, there's no 3s. So the counting digits are 1 and 4. And the 1 is in one of those cells and the 4 is somewhere. But I was going to move on to this. 5, 7 or 9 there. They're all odd. This is 4, 6 or 8 and it's not 6. So we've got 4, 8. Oops, 4, 8 pair in the column. That is not 6 or 8 now. We've got a 5, 7, 9 triple for the rest of the column. If that was an 8, this would be a 1, 4 pair that would have to be yellow. That works all right. If this was a 4, it would be counting. No, I don't know. I don't know what goes on there. The other digits in this box are 5, 6 and 8. That one can't be an 8. Now, is that counting in this 9? I don't know. Oh, this can't have a 2 in anywhere, this 5 cage. So again, its counting digits are 1 and 4. Now, these add up to 30. That 1 and 4 is 35. The other 2 digits in this 2 by 2 added up to 10. They're not 1, 9 or 4, 6. So they're either 2, 8 or 3, 7. So this 2 by 2 does not contain the digits 5, 6 or 9, which contribute to the 30 sum, along with, again, 2 out of 2, 3, 7, 8. Oh, and I haven't thought about this for a while. Didn't it have to have a 1 in it that was counting? Yes, it did. That's there. And then it's either 3, 4, 7 or 3, 5, 6. So it's got a counting 3 in it. 3, 4, 7 or 3, 5, 6. Now, okay, none of these digits can be 1, 2 or 3 in this 9 cage. I hadn't noticed that before. So the counting digits are 4 and 5, and the only place for a 4 to be in the cage is right there. And that's yellow. So there's a yellow 5 and another digit in these 2 cells, and that's not a 5. One of these 2 is a 5. That's not a 5 now. There might be a way to tell what it is just by thinking about colours. I can't see it immediately, sorry. Oh, I've got a checkerboard here, so that's yellow. But is that the counting 4, or is this the counting 4 and is purple? This can't be yellow because purple is a counting digit. So that's purple and is the 4. This is not a 4. That 4 fixes 5. I've got another checkerboard situation to sort out in a moment. Hurrah! This can't be yellow, or we'd get a checkerboard, so it's purple. So the counting digits in this 21 cage are purple. And we knew that they were going to be 9, 4 or 6, 7. If they're 4, 9, that's purple. Oh, if we've got a counting 4 in this 5 cage, and it's got to be there. I'm going to still stick with my O's and X's, I'm afraid. The counting 1 is in one of these cells. Oh, and these now can't have a 4 in. That's very important. So they are 3, 5, 6. Let me just check my sum. 1, 3, 5, 6 adds up to 15. So this is a 7, 8, 9 triple. On the white dot, if that's a 7, 8, 9 triple, this is a 6 touching a 7. That's good. Fairly straightforward deduction. There's no 6 in that group of cells, and there is a 6 in one of these two. Now there's a 6 in one of those, and this is a 5. Actually, that's been available for ages. Was 5? No, 5 wasn't one of the digits I was considering for here. That's also not a 6, though. Now, what was going on down here? We had 8, 9, 7, 6. 5 and 9 are in this group. Ah, no, the 4, that doesn't help, sorry. There's a pair of either 2, 8 or 3, 7 here. If it's 2, 8, they're in those cells. Oh, I mean, I'm learning loads, but there's still quite a bit to do. Haven't really got a grasp on the yin-yang pattern yet. Maybe I need to look at that again. I can't see bits of it where it's in any trouble coming out or moving on. Maybe it's this cage. If that is the 1, those are both purple, and that's yellow. If this is the 1, these are the same colour, and that's different, and I can't even tell which way round that would be. If I'm meant to be able to, I apologise. 3 and 3 as well as 4 and 4. This is a 3-4 pair. Well, I was going to say we can't have a counting 3 here. We can't have a 4 there at all because of the 4-8 pair. That's a 3. That's a 4. Now, could this still be the counters? Oh man, I just don't know. 3 there. It might not count. That could be a 5, 7 counting with a 9 here. Or 9 is there counting as a yellow digit. And then that's a 7. I don't know. One of these is a 5 and counts. Why won't it sort itself out? Or is it just me? Oh, goodness. One of these is a 1, so that's not a 1. This is totally uninteresting info. One of these is a 6. So either the 4 or the 6 counts, and the other digit is a 7 or a 9. Oh, that is just a naked 3. It sees 1, 2, and 4 in the row. So there's no 3 there. That's a 1, 2, 6 triple. This is 4. 1, 2, 6, 4, 8. This is from 5, 7, or 9, which is still not telling me how the cage forms, how the adding up goes. 4, 3, 8, 9, 7, 6. That is 2 or 5. Oh, we can't have a 9 in those cells. That's interesting. Now 9 is in one of those and not in one of these. That is either a 4, 5 pair or a 7, 8 pair. I still don't know. Oh no, that can't be an 8. Because we've got an 8. That's a 4. This is a 5 on the white dot. Okay, okay. That places 5 in box 7 there. Now, maths or something should sort this out, shouldn't it? It's either 9, 3, 7 or 9, 2, 8. Maths does not sort it out. Naughty maths. That's not a 5. 5, 4. This is an 8 at the top because we got the 4. That's a 4. There's no 4 here. There is a counting 1. That's a counting digit. Could put it in the circle. 4, 5, 3. Oh, I don't know. 6 and 8 are there. These are from 1, 2, 7, 9. That one can't be 7 or 9 because of this pair. I'm going to have to do yin yang again. This is 2. It's naked in the corner. That's 1 in the other corner. That's now a 2, 6 pair. Now that 2 makes this a 7. That puts 9 here, 1 here, 2 here. Now it's 4 and 1 that count. And oh, this is a slightly different colouring situation. If they were both yellow, that's okay. If they were both purple, you're kidding me. Oh no, if they were both purple, the 9 would get shut off. So they're both yellow. That's purple. 2, 1, 4, 5, 7. Now we must know what these add up to. They need to add up to 17. They are 9 and 8. Phew. I feel like I might get a finish here. 6, 5, 8. This is 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spot. Light losing its religion. This is 3 and 1. That is a 7 to complete the box. It is 4 and 1 that count. They can't be yellow or that purple 3 would get shut off. So they're purple. That's yellow. I can get rid of my marking there. 4 and 5 are the counting digits. So that one's purple. Now, what are my shapes like? My yin-yang shapes. They're all absolutely fine. And they're not telling me anything. So I'm going to keep doing Sudoku. Those don't have a 3 in it. That's where 3 is. 3, 4, 1, 5, 6. That's 2. That's 6. This is not 5. We've got an 8 in the column. There it is. This is a 5 now. 1, 2, 5, 4, 8, 3. This is 6, 7, or 9. Let me get rid of the corner marks. Wow, how can I not be done on the colouring? Ah, 5 is a counting digit, yes. So 8 is a counting digit as well and is yellow. Now that has to be purple to avoid 2 by 2. That has to be purple to get it out. 4, 8 and that are the counting digits. That's 9. That's yellow. Now this is a 5, 7 pair. They must both count up here. So they're both purple and that seems to work for the colouring. It looks good. It looks good. So now I'm just going to finish off numbers and then I'm going to celebrate and go down the pub for a stiff Guinness. I'm probably not, but I feel like it. That's a 7. Those aren't. Whoa, I mean this puzzle is funky. I mean I'm still not done actually. I probably should be. 9, 8, oh, that 9 is looking down here. That is a good spot. So then we get 5 and 7. Central is the last one in its column. Uh, 7 and 8. That's a naked 8. That's a 7. This is a 9. That's a 5. Yes, 9. What have we got here? 6 and 8. They go in like that. Then we get 8. Ooh, let's take out the last circly thing. There we go. And this is a 9 and finishes. And that is a pleasure. Oh, I'm pleased to get through that. That's not an easy puzzle. Excellent fun by J. Rosas. Whoa, well done. Well done. That really is entertaining stuff. Well, I hope it was entertaining for you. It was very entertaining for me. And there is our lovely yin-yang pattern at the end. I might just get rid of the yellow just to admire the two colours a little even more contrastingly. There we go. Thank you for watching. Pleased to finish. I will see you again tomorrow for more Sudoku fun. Bye for now.